G'day folks, it's the Meeple Monkey here again with another live stream for you. Been a while since I've done one of these, so we'll see how we go today. I'll see if I can remember how to change the screens and all that sort of stuff as well. But yeah, welcome. I thought we'd just have a little bit of a chat about some general sort of first impressions now that I've sort of been playing through season 3 for a while, just while we're sort of waiting for folks to join us. In case people wanted to be here for the prize draw, and that's the main event today. Is we're going to be doing the spin the wheel for all the folks who have entered the competition for the ModBoxes from Tableplay. So just to let you know sort of what they look like. So you'll be receiving some of these. So we're giving away the dashboards, the big size. So for the large, not large, the cardboard versions of the villain dashboards, and you'll also get a lid as well. So let's have a quick look over here at also just to show you what it looks like actually sort of built. So you've got all of the dashboards from seasons 1 to 3 can fit in there. Plus, then you've got these little slots on the side there for various things. I've got some folded space inserty type things sitting in there and stuff, but there's enough room in there for I think the campaign cards and the modular dash things as well. So yeah, so that's what it looks like built. This is what you'll be receiving. It's unbuilt, comes in here. You'll also be receiving one of the lids as well, so you can actually close it up. So there's a lid there, and that comes separately packaged as well. So I've got not four, two of those mod boxes plus the lids to give away. So thanks to Tableplay for that. If you saw I forget when I sort of was originally announcing this, but oh, sorry guys, let me make sure I should be saying hello to the chat. So hello JD, hello, yes, I'm live. Can I still register? Lol said I can't join. Let me see. No, sorry JD, I think I've unfortunately I've closed that down and put the entrance in the thingy. So yeah, apologies for that. But we I wonder if I can, let me see if there's anyone else who, because I like I said, I was going to do a little bit of a chat beforehand. So let me see if I go into this one here, and anyone else who's watching who's just joined us who is wanting to jump in on this. Now, what you'll need to do is there's a link, not in this video, because I wasn't planning on doing this, but in the previous 2 videos, there should be a link to a Google form. So if I go in now, hopefully you guys can still see me. I haven't disappeared. If I do that, all right, let me come back here. That should be open again now. And if you join in, let's say in the next, it'll probably only take me about 5-10 minutes just to go through some of this stuff here. And you join in, I should be able to add your name to the spin the wheel thing. So as long as you put in what sort of username you want in that Google form, I should be able to put that in. So good luck, JD. If you want to jump on one of the previous videos and have a look at that, I'll give that about 5 or so minutes, and then I'll close that back down again. So there was someone else on YouTube, because I just opened it up for an extra 15 minutes beforehand, actually. Someone on YouTube had missed it as well. So if you're watching, yeah, jump back in one of those previous videos. You can have a look there. So forget what I was talking about now, but yeah, good luck. Good luck. Yes, we can win these. I can't remember what I was saying, but anyway, what I thought we'd do is, yeah, like I said, while we're just waiting for folks to join us, then I'll just go through, yeah, what I think of the new stuff that's been coming through that I've been playing, and just sort of general first impressions, because obviously it's only been a little while since we've received it. Some of us are still waiting. I think a lot of folks, especially now in the States, I know there's probably still people on the East Coast, I think, waiting, but I know that the East Coast, they seem to start be sort of rolling out with those deliveries. So hopefully everyone's getting there soon. And I think folks in the UK are looking like they're getting some announcements about things arriving and stuff as well. JD has said, yep. Just your email so I can contact you later to get your address for sending the stuff through, and then just a name to put in. So yep, nice and easy. So that's all good. Shouldn't take too long. So there you go. So if you've just jumped in and you're watching us and you're like, oh, do I have time to go fill out that form? It only takes a couple of seconds. So yeah, all good. So yeah, let's have a look here. So I think I just basically was just jotting down some thoughts about my impressions, like first things that came to me and that sort of thing. So there's no particular order here, but and as I'm going, if you guys want to chime in with how you guys are enjoying the season, if you've got some of the new stuff has arrived and you want to share, your thoughts about stuff, feel free to pop it in the comments there. So I don't know if I've done it before or not, but thanks for letting us jump in. Cool. Yeah, I've set it up so that I think you can only make one entry per person, or I guess per email address. So it like if you jump in and it doesn't let you do it, like that'll probably tell you whether you've done it or not, sort of thing. So yeah, all good. So first box, this is a bit of a surprise one that it sort of was the thing that popped out to me. I guess it's because it was the biggest surprise, is the Secret Invasion box. That one, if you've sort of been following along, you probably saw that it wasn't necessarily one that I was particularly looking forward to, or a big fan of the theme, sort of thing. But obviously, as a big Marvel United fan, I still went all in and got everything anyway, because I love the game system so much. Even if it's not my favorite particular theme, I knew that I'd probably still get enjoyment out of it, and that's been the case here. The scrolls in particular. Man, they were a really cool fight. So I've just really enjoyed. I think it was the guys actually from Tableplay that had posted somewhere saying, "Oh, we really enjoyed this fight," and I thought, "Oh, really? Okay, I'll give it a shot." And boy, it was like a lot of fun. And it's just, I mean, I do like the big multi-villain battles and that sort of thing as well. But this one I particularly liked. That little tweak of, like, you have to be able to do all the damage to them in one turn. They don't the health doesn't carry over. That just made the puzzle of, like, the little trying to get them at the end and pin them all down. It just made it extra challenging. I really enjoyed that. So that was a great fight. And another thing about this is, despite the fact that they're impossible to tell apart, and I thought, I originally thought, oh, they're not that bad. Look, Quake looks quite different to Maria Hill and this and that. And then throughout that entire game, I was mixing them up the whole time. So they are pretty hard to tell apart, but they were really fun. And I've seen comments about, they're not so, the powers are too situational, and in general, season 3 heroes the powers aren't that great. But I've been having a blast with them. I think in general, the season 3 character powers are really interesting, the way they work and stuff. And these particular heroes, I don't know if it was just I had a fun battle where they just happened to sort of be able to combo them well together and that sort of thing. But it was really fun finding ways to make those situational powers trigger in cool ways. So that was a good fight and a good box. I like that Secret Invasion one. Age of Apocalypse. So yeah, let us know how you guys feel if you've tried the Secret Invasion stuff. Maybe it was one of your favorite ones you were really looking forward to. But Age of Apocalypse. This is one. X-Men. I really, a big fan of X-Men, but I was not really a big fan. I sort of like got out of reading the comics and stuff when Age of Apocalypse was just sort of hitting. And I can't really remember back to those days whether it was because of the news of Age of Apocalypse, or I was like, oh, they're changing all my characters and turning everyone into a bad guy, into a good guy, and a good guy into a bad. Oh, that sounds ridiculous. I don't want to read that sort of stuff. I can't remember if, like, that's what got me out of it, or if I had already started sort of fading away from reading them, and then when I heard about that, it was sort of, I just sort of used as an extra incentive for me to, like, oh yeah, I don't need to buy any more of those comics. So, but anyway, it wasn't a big thing in my, I know a lot of folks are like, that was their, like, prime X-Men reading stuff, but for me, it just wasn't really a big thing. But then since talking to Dave, Diversion Architect, he's a massive fan of it, and others, and I've been learning that it's actually pretty cool storyline and that sort of thing, and I like that everything went back to normal sort of afterwards as well. So it was fun to explore, but it didn't completely um, you know do away with the whole storyline, unlike Warhammer. So, oh, man, anyway, so um, yeah, I had mixed thoughts about this one. So the Age of Apocalypse box, I didn't know what to make of it. And I will say, I've only played Nemesis. He was fun. He was powerful and a bit scary and stuff. Hi Dan, how you going? Uh, but he wasn't like a standout. There's a couple of sort of villains I fought in season 3 that, like, yeah, they were big and fun, and they had some cool stuff going on, but they not necessarily like something that like makes me go, wow, that's like a top 5 villain for me, sort of thing. So Nemesis was okay, but I tell you what was really interesting, what was fun, was X-Man. He was really cool. Like, obviously he's the big gimmicky character with the 16 cards in his deck and all that sort of stuff. But being able to like choose which ones are your starting cards, and just having such a range of powers and stuff, he was just a lot of fun. So yeah, he was a cool flashy one to use for sure. Morph, Morph was cool. I kind of maybe hoped he would feel better. He had that sort of interest. He's got a lot of wilds, and he's got that thing where you sort of hope that the other player doesn't play as much stuff, so that you can, if they only play like a single card, you can get like a bonus action or something like that. It just didn't. Maybe it was the fact I was playing him alongside X-Man, and he just felt a lot more sort of like superpowered sort of thing. But yeah, Morph was okay. Morph was pretty cool. And are you done playing? Oh, I don't think so. No. JD asks, "Are you done playing most of season 3 now?" I don't think I've barely scratched. That's why I'm sort of saying these are my first impressions, because I haven't played anywhere near enough of it to sort of make any big statements. But a part of that is, I also am sharing my time between playing the season 3 stuff and then showing off all the great homebrew designs in the fan made community. So I'm going a bit slower than maybe others would be going, but it's been fun so far. Apocalypse, Nemesis, a meh, lol, Apocalypse. Oh, yeah, Age of Apocalypse. Nemesis is meh. Apocalypse is top tier. I haven't played him yet. Actually, I'm sure a lot of you guys would have seen this already, but Andrew Fantasia from Digital Charcuterie has started posting gameplay videos. Please stick around and watch some of mine too. But his very first video, he's like more concise, to the point. Like, it runs a lot smoother than my long rambling videos. But that's all an aside. It was a great fight, and he fought Apocalypse, and yeah, that was a great fight. He looks like a really interesting and fun villain. So yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you're right. I think top tier villain. Probably not in heroic mode. Yeah, yeah. And excited to see a Null battle. Yeah, been seeing a lot of talk about Null, and hello to Cryo Ninja. Because of all the stuff going on with his cards, right? Apparently, his cards are all misprinted or something. He doesn't have the BAMs on his henchmen, but it seems like once you know about that, it seems like a pretty easy. You just remember that they've triggered by BAM, sort of thing. But yeah, his general sort of fight looks very interesting and scary too, doesn't it? So it's not one that I've had requested yet. I've had a request for Fin Fang Foom, so that's probably the next battle I'm going to do. But I'm assuming Null will be coming at some point in the future with the playthrough as well. And I will release my villain tier ranking in a few weeks. Okay, just for fun. I'm almost done playing all of season 2 and season 3 to rank them. Wow. Okay, so all right. So JD definitely has been speeding through it a lot faster than me. And just a note too. I said hi to Dan earlier. And so Dan, just to give him a plug, is the creator of all the great stuff at Minis from Mars. I was going to say Big Head Chibis for a second there. Minis from Mars. So yeah, definitely check out all his cool new season 3 stuff that's arrived. So we've got what's her name? Is it Betsy or Betty? Betty Ross? Betsy Ross? And Rick Jones and the Wrecking Crew's magical wrecker thing, magical crowbar, and some sewer grates for lizard as well. So all those cool new tokens and stuff from this season. We've got some cool stuff from minis from Mars as well. Only played Wrecking Crew and lizards. So whoopsie. This is Dylan says, hello, Dylan. I've only played Wrecking Crew and Lizard so far. Right, yes. Now, let's skip ahead then, because Wrecking Crew is great. Wrecking Crew is, that's what I've written down. Wrecking Crew is great, yes. So I played, sorry, I'm just like reading my notes here. Yeah, Wrecking Crew was super fun. They're probably my favorite, like, multi-villain fight now. They were a lot of fun. I like the dynamic of, like, everything revolves around where the magical crowbar is, and then if you can take out Wrecker, then you can kind of game it so that you know where the Wrecking Crew thing is, like where the crowbar is, so you know where to sort of like try and clear civilians and thugs so that they don't overflow around there and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's an interesting and tricky fight. So I liked it. Haven't played Lizard yet. I do want to wait till I get the sewer covers from minis from Mars. I'm going to order some of those, and then I'll probably show those off on the channel when I do Lizard as well. So I've got the other stuff, so that's why I showed off the Wrecking Crew, and along with Fin Fang Foom, I want to show off probably Maestro and Red Hulk, not too far away. But I'm going to try and get those minis painted. We'll see if I get them painted before showing them off. So my poor choice of painting order means I haven't played any multi-villain fights yet. Yeah, Dan's saying, yeah. So there's some good ones there. Yeah, well, you know what? They're waiting for you. They'll still be there, and they'll still be great when you get to them. So there's lots of great stuff in season 3, not just the multi-villain fights, which is cool. But Wrecking Crew were pretty good. They were probably one of my favorite standouts so far. Now let's have a look. Now Annihilation's an interesting one. Another one I wasn't really looking forward to. It's not been as much of a like, oh wow, I really like this one now as Secret Invasion. It does have some really powerful, pretty fun heroes to use, but I just something I just the old I don't know what era they are or what vibe they are, but the whole like cosmic dudes with capes, kind of like I just don't really have any attachment to it, whether it's Marvel or DC or anything like that. So they all kind of blur together a little bit for me. And in fact, someone made a comment that I think in one of my videos, I didn't even catch it. I was moving characters around the wrong ones in a video because they all just had capes and stuff. But yeah, they're fun, but not sort of super memorable for me. Annihilus was pretty tough. He was all right. Again, not he was pretty good. He wasn't super standout for me, but the fight, I think the fight I did with that one with the complication deck, I think I actually used the void in that one, and that was pretty fun. Like the complication deck wasn't as bad as I thought it was, because I played with like all 4 of the complication cards or something in that one, and played with some really scary location that made things harder and stuff as well. And it was still a fun and good battle sort of thing. So if you go pretty reasonable and just take 2 maybe 2 complication cards or something like that, that that would be pretty cool. So I know there's a lot of folks who really like to make this game much more sort of gamery and feel much more challenged, and they like playing on hard mode and all that sort of stuff. And so I think the complications deck is going to be a fun thing for if they already feel like, even with playing on hard mode and stuff, that they're sort of starting to just be so good at the game and just knowing what to do that it's still becoming too easy, then this is another way to sort of like ramp that up, sort of thing, without having to, because I know a lot of people say, oh, put challenges in, put a sentinel in, put this or that in, but sometimes that just thematically just might not be what you want to do. Like, why do I want this random sentinel here in a battle that's got nothing to do with them? So having the complications deck is a great sort of alternative to that as well. So that's pretty cool. Let's see, JD's painted a third of season 3 now. I think I've painted like 1 guy or something. And that's pretty good progress, but had a break for 3 weeks. Well, you've painted a third and you've had 3 weeks off as well. That's pretty good. Tyree painting, yeah. And I'm surprised capes are nice. I thought at least they're not named. Yes, that's true. That's true. They're not named Captain Generic. And like the models are great. Like the models with the capes and stuff are great, but just the like Quasar and Captain Photon, and these are just things that they kind of just it doesn't. I don't know. To me, like Marvel, when I think of Marvel, I think of like the streets, and I think of like those like street level heroes. I think of Avengers. I think of X-Men, and the cosmic stuff. Just I was never reading those, so I guess I just it kind of doesn't feel. It kind of feels a bit detached from um, and I know that like it's a big central part of Marvel, right? Like it's just something that I just personally it wasn't part of my experience of knowing this sort of stuff, so they just don't resonate with me as much. But certainly their powers and stuff are cool, like those nega bands and all that sort of stuff are pretty cool. So um, yes, yes. So I don't mean to be dismissive of them. I just yeah, if I see the guys with capes, I'm like, oh, I probably don't know who that is. But I'm learning, and which is pretty cool. Andrew Fantasia always talks about how it's great, with these seasons, like we get so many of these characters that we had no idea about. And it is cool to sort of learn, even though I'm I'm still getting Moondragon and Moonstone and all the different characters mixed up and stuff. But I'm getting there, so it's pretty cool. Captain Generic, yeah. There's another team I didn't know much about, Alpha Flight, and now everyone wants to finish the Alpha Flight, so that's pretty cool. That's now another expansion I really liked was um, World War Hulk. Nothing for no particular reason. Like I just really enjoyed all the heroes. I just really enjoyed the villains. I enjoyed the Void. I enjoyed um, World Breaker Hulk. Is that what it is? It Gladiator Hulk or World? I think it's World Breaker Hulk when he's the villain, and Gladiator Hulk when he's not, sort of thing. But yeah, all that stuff is just fun, and this is probably a case of like that stuff. I like all those heroes and characters. I like the poses, like Ares with his axes and stuff. I didn't really know much about the World War Hulk storyline. Someone very kindly sort of filled us in on the YouTube channel or in the comments of one of the videos, sort of let me know a bit more about what was going on there. But yeah, that was pretty cool. So I did like that. Uh, let's see. So that was World War Hulk. Now Civil War was a fun one. Like that, they've got a bunch of have played through probably most of the heroes in that now. But the PvP surprised me. I'm not much of a sort of competitive gamer, as I've probably talked about before. Um, but I quite enjoyed, and I didn't think that this game. I thought, oh, as much as they're trying to sort of bolt on some PvP modes to this. I didn't think they would be very good, but yeah, it was quite fun. Like sort of, I was proxying, I was pretending to be both sides, sort of thing, and sort of just playing solo, but sort of putting both sides against each other. But it was a lot of fun. I quite liked it. I don't know how much how much legs it has. Like um, I don't know how different it would feel, sort of, because I was sort of learning my way through. Okay, what's the best strategy? What are these teams trying to do? Is it better to sort of go for points by knocking out the enemy, this or that? So once you've played a game or two, it might be. I don't know if there's a lot there to sort of have the replayability, which I think is why the having that other registration mode would be fun as well. So I'm still not. I don't know if it's like I wouldn't recommend it as like, oh, you're a competitive gamer, then you should get into Marvel United and play this mode sort of thing. I don't know if it's got enough there, but I quite liked it for what it was, sort of thing, and it surprised me how much fun I had with that. Let's see, James. Hello, James. Oh, and hello, Mr. Creed. Still waiting. Oh, that's a bummer, Mr. And so, Mr. Creed, I think I I think you might be, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in the rest of the world category, sort of thing. So I'm hoping that speeds up for you. Let me know if I'm wrong there. I've managed to paint. James says I've managed to paint Galactus and Finfa. Oh, wow. Okay, you're the two gigantic ones, as well as Spider-Geddon from season 3. Really enjoyed season 3 so far, and adds more wrinkles. Yeah. It's there's so much stuff you can add now. It's really cool. Complications deck is top tier hype for me. Well, there you go. So you must be one of those guys that loves the challenge sort of thing. That's cool. But for season 3 villains, it's much more challenging already. Yeah, especially at heroic. Yep. I wouldn't know much about that. And locations are way more balanced. Okay, so it's almost like not really. Yeah. So I guess it's one of those things. It's like you can You can pick and choose and adjust and stuff, but even just chucking a single complication in would be a bit of fun sort of thing as well. Mr. Creed says, yes, Brazil. Yeah, I had a feeling. Yeah. Well, fingers crossed. I hope things work out. I hope. I'm not sure. Are they sending it straight from China to Brazil, or are they sending it to, like, say, the US and then shipping out from there? Because I don't know if that port thing, there's some sort of strike going on or about to go on, isn't there? I hope that doesn't further complicate things for you. Is anyone aware of any apps to manage Marvel United? I know there are some, but I don't use them, so I couldn't recommend any off the top of my head. I might, after this, I might have a bit of a look, and if I find anything useful, I'll maybe post a little message in the YouTube community page or something like that. Yeah, sorry, James, I don't know any off the top of my head, but feel free, if you're in the comments, if you want to recommend some, let James know. For Spider-Geddon, Meeple Monkey, and those watching, how did you like the 4 villains in it? Spider-Geddon. I guess that's part of season 3. I should talk about it. I love the guy with all the arms. Superior Spider-Man, amazing villain, amazing hero, fantastic. Spot is good fun. I really like the character too, and he's one of the only villains I've actually painted, because I was just so looking forward to painting him. Plus, I know there's a guy in the Discord, Milk Wazowski or something, and he's a big fan of Spot, so I sort of did that in tribute to him. Haven't played. Oh no, sorry, I'll tell a lie. I have played Morlun, I think. Pretty sure I've played Morlun, but I got, like, smashed really quickly. I think I tried to film a video of it, but the game, it was over so quick. I was like, well, that's not much of a thing to watch. It was like 2 turns or something. So I've got to get back to that one. And who's the other one in it? I can't think of who the other Morlun. Oh, Anti-Venom, right? I don't know if I've played Anti-Venom. Have I? Have I played him on the channel? Maybe I've played him on. I don't know. I can't remember. Not doesn't say doesn't say much for Anti-Venom, does it? That I can't remember. But he seems all right. He's one of those ones, I think, though, that he turns off your powers, and so if that's true, I probably don't love him, because even though I've designed some in my homebrew stuff where I have used that sort of thing, I don't love, where you don't get to use the fun things that you've picked your character for, sort of thing. So yeah, I think that's what Anti-Venom does, doesn't he? He sort of turns off powers and stuff. So yeah, but definitely, like, stand out for me is Superior Spider-Man in that one. Yeah, I love the villains that, like, completely change the way that things work in the game, sort of thing. So he's pretty cool. Spot is so simple but fun. That's right. Yep. Sort of reminds me of Kanji Studios. Derek from Kanji Studios did a Toad, like Toad by himself from the Brotherhood battle, and he sort of bounces around and stuff, and he's sort of similar to that, just like fun, chaotic. Sometimes can be completely destroy you, sometimes can completely miss you the whole game, sort of thing, but just a lot of fun either way, because there's always that tension of, is he going to land on you, or is he going to land in a spot that's bad for you, sort of thing. So Morlun is swinging, kind of unfun. Yeah, well, I definitely, maybe I got the swing where he hit me right in the face and knocked me straight out, sort of thing. But I haven't played him enough to know if I can have games where he's not that hard. But he seems pretty hard. Same comment for Anti-Venom, and then Superior Spider-Man, top tier, yeah, for sure. We have same comments, yeah, that's right. Wait, there we go. Wait, we're on the same wavelength. So now, super fun. Probably my favorite thing from the whole set. Not a super surprise either, but one I kind of kept forgetting was in the was in season 3, because I was so looking forward to Havoc in his jacket and stuff. But Galactus, that box is amazing. The Galactus fight is, like, super fun. It's not just a big gimmick; it's, like, actually super fun, which is, I sort of find, less so with Apocalypse, but definitely with Thanos. Those two, what should be two big epic fights, for me, don't really live up to it. I think with Apocalypse, it's more that I find the Prelude battle a little bit underwhelming, but his fight itself is pretty fun. But Thanos' one, not. It's all right. But Galactus, man, that fight is super fun, and it even turns off your powers at the beginning of the game, doesn't it? But that was amazing, and not only that, but then it also has the multi-villain fight, Heralds of Galactus, again, super fun. And it has the ability to sort of put any villains you want into that mode, super fun. And then it's got all the different heralds individually, plus you get the compatible sort of Silver Surfer thing in there. Yeah, excellent expansion. Yeah, even just the Galactus fight itself would have been worth the price of admission, but having all that extra stuff in there as well, really good. So that's a great box. I really like that one. I guess the only thing that would make it better is having more heroes in it, I guess. But you still do get what's her name? Nova, Frankie Ray or something. So that's pretty cool. Our 12-year-old was disappointed we didn't beat Galactus with Fantastic Four the first time. Yeah, I know. I think I was playing on easy mode, which is probably the only reason I got through it. But it was right down to the wire too. But Fantastic Four are, I think, a good team to take him on. If you can get those powers back up and running, because then you can use all those Fantastic Four cards and stuff. But if you don't get that up and running, then all your advantages of being in the Fantastic Four kind of going to waste. So that's it's definitely a thematic one having those guys fight him. You are being generous in Thanos. He is basically more on steroids. How true? Yeah. I don't know. I like that you can use different villains on the lead up fight sort of thing. I think he's all right. I think you could. I think he's fairly easy to take some of that swinginess away, where you can, like, if you just house rule some of that stuff. There's that one card that, like, basically makes you restart again halfway through the game or whatever that one is. But I just remember, so that I do remember playing, and I think I ended up actually when I played it online, well, not online, but on camera. I think during that game, I forgot for half the game to use the time stone or something like that, and so it wasn't a real victory sort of thing. But I remember really enjoying that game because it was kind of a surprise. I was using some crazy team that was just made up of all bad guys or something that weren't working together, and I sort of was relying on the awesomeness of some of the locations to sort of get me through it sort of thing. But it ended up being a fun fight. But I can see how the just with the way it works, I can see how unfun that could be, especially after so many games leading up to it, and then just having a battle like that. So yeah, I think you're right. It's probably not the best sort of thing, but yeah. Let's see. Have I talked about all the expansions? I think so. Let me know if I've forgotten any expansions. I haven't really played a lot from the main multiverse deck yet. So, but let's just talk about sort of some villains and characters and stuff now. So, US Agent, I really am glad that it looks like you can sort of mod in other characters to work with him to a certain degree. He himself was pretty fun, but I find him a little easy, maybe. The Mind Stone one makes you play randomly. That one, yeah. I wonder if that was one of the ones I forgot to use. Yeah, US Agent, he's a little bit easy, but to be honest, the most fun I've had with him is when I subbed in Havoc and used the new Havoc with the jacket, because he's got some power that lets him sort of generate. He's got cards that let him generate. I think it's like a starting hand one. And I actually played when I was sort of just putting him into the US Agent fight. I played where he plays that as his first card. So therefore, every turn he was generating a wild, or something to do with he could do these wild generation pretty regularly through the game, and therefore he always had access to that powerful ability on his dashboard sort of thing. So using Havoc was a good fight with that one sort of thing. So I'm sort of looking forward to sort of exploring what other villains will make a really good fight, or sorry, what other heroes will make a really good fight in that US Agent thing. But there's like we've been saying, there's so much in season 3 already. I don't want to go back to that without having sort of explored a lot more of season 3 just regularly sort of thing. But that looks like there's a lot of replayability there. I also really liked, I played against the Wrecking Crew. I've played them a couple of times now. One of the times I played with them, I used all the big characters, so like Stature and Yellow Jacket, and I think I can't remember if I used Wasp or Ant-Man, but I also used uh, Goliath, and I really they were pretty fun. And I like how they're all like, well, actually Yellow Jacket's kind of small, but all the big growing guys sort of thing. They all kind of feel a little bit different, which is cool. They don't feel all exactly the same. And I must admit, Stature's the one I enjoyed the most. I like her, how she kind of like just kicks her way through all the locations and like damages people. If you go into her location, or if she goes into yours or something like that, she damages you. But also she gets to do like a free punch as she's walking around. So she was a lot of fun, like just imagining her sort of like kicking buildings over and stuff like that. And I like Goliath wasn't as I didn't like him as much, but I like how he can like topple over and land land on the villains and stuff like that. So that was pretty cool. Um, Mind Stone. So Morph overpowered? 10 wild icons. Yeah, he's pretty. I found him a little underwhelming. I was saying before, he's got lots of wild icons, but he's a lot of them are just singles. And yeah, I felt that like if you were relying on him being able to boost his powers, like the person before you was using a lame card sort of thing. So I don't know. I've only played him once, so and like I was saying, I've played him along. I was playing him alongside X-Man, who just seemed a bit more sort of exciting. So I've got to give more of a go. But he's definitely. I like that he's thematic. It's like it's a cool sort of way to sort of show off his power. Although now that we know what Beast Boy can do, that would have been cool to see Morph with like things like that. Morph actually feels average in strength since. Oh yeah, so that's so JD, we're on the same wavelength here. I can't get myself to replay season one. They are mostly so bland. So this is a I see a lot of this, and I see a lot of people asking for like, oh, they need to completely redo season one, and they need to put out a patch, a mod pack with all upgraded cards and all this sort of stuff. And um, I understand, I guess that, but I don't know. I just enjoy Marvel United so much that I don't see season one being so like terrible compared to everything else that it's unplayable and stuff like for me, I love the thematic stuff. I love getting those heroes out. They've got equipment cards if you want to use them now, and that's the stuff. And I just have fun putting them in, and usually I'm sort of playing with a mix of stuff here, season one and two and three, and bits and pieces, and it all sort of blends well together and stuff. And I don't know, I I can see people saying that, but I really hope they don't do that. I'd hate to have to go back and like chase like buying stuff that I already own just to get updated cards, and like I don't know, I would prefer they just kept going and doing new stuff and that sort of stuff, and that's not to say that's what people are necessarily asking for as well. Maybe they're just saying, oh, they prefer playing the new stuff over the older stuff. But I don't know. I still enjoy going back and visiting the old stuff as well. But yeah, JD, I know you hate repeats and want more new characters. We are in the same wavelength with that one. Although you know what, I'm not as much of a hater of repeats. Like I know generally, but like when they did that repeat Havoc, mate, I was I was so excited, and I'm still hanging out for a Genosha uniform Havoc as well. No, only joking. Yeah, we want to see new stuff. Really, is the um, is the cool way to go, sort of thing there. But yeah, yeah. Let's have a look here. What else did I say? Wrecking Crew. Now, um, let's talk about some of the general things with season 3 as well that have come in. So we've talked about some of the characters and the villains and the boxes and stuff, but the idea of some of the new stuff like the teams. Now there's the team decks, which are okay, and um, I don't know. It's a funny one. I don't tend to use them all the time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. I don't tend to worry too much about whether characters are on the list or not, sort of thing as well. I'm like, if this character feels like they should be on it, I'll just chuck him in, sort of thing. But it's interesting. I haven't used them all the time. I don't know. And but teams themselves, as in those characters that are designed to be a team. I know a lot of people don't tend to like these because they don't like that the characters don't feel as good when they're by themselves. And I can see that as well, but I don't know. I don't find that as much of a problem because as someone who tends to like to play thematically anyway, like I like to I don't like to sort of play totally random, I guess. but sometimes I like to sort of like I'll just sort of randomly pick a villain or something and then build a bit of a theme around it. And sometimes the theme isn't necessarily Marvel, comic accurate theme. It might be like a Christmas theme, or like Andrew Fantasia did. Like all the characters here have been played by the same actor or something. Sometimes I'll find like a fun little theme like that. But generally with these team things, like if I'm going to play with Corsair, I'm going to want to play with like the rest of his crew and stuff like that as well. So I don't mind as much, and I find so I really quite like Alpha Flight. I really quite like the Fantastic Four, and I love that their team decks sort of manipulate and help you sort of like get those cards out a bit more and that sort of thing as well. So in terms of the new teams that are there, I'm not sure if I'm remembering all of them, but the Winter Guard I don't find as good. I like them individually, but the fact I think they've only got one Winter Guard card. I could be wrong. Maybe there's two. But in the game I've played with them, like their cards never came out, so I didn't really get to experience them as a team sort of thing. Team decks seem cool, but it seems just okay. Yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. And yeah, you're right. Like when they're required, it's cool to sort of use them all together, sort of thing. But I don't even know if I was using the team deck for the Star Jammers when I played them. But the Star Jammers are my number. Like I love them as a team. I think maybe the Fantastic Four and maybe even Alpha Flight now with their team decks are more powerful. But I love the game of playing with the Star Jammers and trying to keep that chain going of like cards that have the Star Jammer thing in it. That was really fun. Is like trying to keep the combo going. I really like how, because I think all they really do is like if you can keep the combo going, you get like an extra action or something. Is that right? Something like that. But so they don't seem to be as powerful on like having as huge turns as say the Fantastic Four can have late game sort of thing. But just the fun of like trying to string the cards that play those together, and then having to make those decisions about, oh, I could play this cool power card, but it doesn't have the Star Jammer thing in. So if I play it, I get a cool action, but then I'm breaking the link, sort of thing. That was a fun little mini game. So that was cool. The Inhumans are okay. Their Terragenesis thing seems all right, but I haven't really used them a lot. I think I mainly just used them in that game. With the PvP, and in fact that was with the Star Jammers as well, and they probably suffered a bit from the Star Jammers just seeming like so much more of an interesting fun thing, whereas the Inhumans just sort of stepping on the Terragenesis things or whatever and flipping those didn't seem as interesting sort of thing. But yeah, they were pretty good. They're probably more powerful. Some of their abilities are probably more powerful, I think. I can't really remember. Now, equipment is an interesting one too. I was really kind of down on equipment because I didn't like the idea of having to give up my double wilds for them, and I still don't. And then I was really underwhelmed, I think, mostly because our first introduction to them was in Spider-Geddon, and there was so many like webbing ones in that, and they just seemed like, oh, man, I'm giving up double wilds for this like web thing. That then is like a pain to like have to flip back over as well and that sort of thing. So I was a bit down on the equipment cards, but I'm like, still, but I'm sort of going up because I'm encountering more and more of them that are, pretty fun. I've seen comments like, oh, so I was complaining about them on a video, and someone said, oh, there's no mediocre there's no mediocre equipment, only mediocre use of them and stuff. And I was like, okay, come on. All right. But some of them are definitely mediocre. But there's a lot of cool stuff in there as well. So, and like some of them are not that hard to flip over. Like who was it that all you've got to do is not spend a special action for one turn and then it flips back over. There's characters like Captain Britain, who has that sword that like, is always in play and that sort of stuff. So there's some more powerful ones, which is cool. And then just in general, yeah, they do add some flair and some flavor. And for those people who are missing some of the flair from season 1, definitely they can add some more stuff there too. So yeah, I'm turning around on the equipment. It's just I think there's certain equipment I'm like that's not as good, or it's like really situational, and like you can tell, okay, this battle has no henchmen and this thing is all about henchmen. Well, why am I going to take that instead of this and that. So it's one of those things. Sometimes I'll use it, sometimes I won't, but it's better than I thought. Spider-Geddon Retail, Crossguild just joined. Hello, Crossguild. I'm just just rambling now. Basically, I've been talking about my first impressions of season 3, including Spider-Geddon, whilst just waiting for folks to arrive, and then I'm going to be spinning the wheel for the people to win the ModBox. The ModBoxes, because there's 2 of them. So there we go. So welcome, Cross Guild. And so Spider-Geddon, for example, has too many moves anyway. Yeah. Some are definitely mediocre. Ghost Rider, yeah. Some of you are useless or trash, yeah. So it's yeah, but I appreciate that they're there for theme and that sort of stuff, and yeah, I'm actually currently making this vehicle mode for GI Joe, where I've made a whole bunch of vehicles, like a vehicle deck, and then each vehicle is going to, when you get that vehicle, you receive like the equipment cards that are attached to it, which are essentially equipment cards, like the weapons on the thing, and so. And I'm going through the process of getting all the art and stuff for it. So it's taken months and months, but I finally am about to hopefully get the art finished in the next week or 2. And then it'll be the case of like me trying to make interesting equipment for them. So, here's me complaining about equipment, but now I've got to actually try and sort of try and make it interesting. So we'll see how I go with that. But not sure if I'm going to be successful or not. But it should be a fun endeavor. So hopefully I can take some inspirations from some of the more fun weapons and things like that in the game. So that should be pretty cool. Well, anyway, so and last thing before I get onto the thingy is campaigns. Now this was one when campaigns were announced. I was super excited. When one of the campaigns being announced was like the Executioner song, I was super excited because I was like, oh, that's a crossover I know from the comics, and I was really excited with that. But I've got to say, I think what I'm discovering is that me personally, the way I like to play Marvel United, like I said, I just like to kind of just pick a random villain or pick a villain, someone suggests one on the channel or whatever, and then like come up with a little theme for it and play it and just play like that. I don't really enjoy having to lock myself into a number of games. And yeah, and it just in general with my gaming, I don't, I don't really have the time to sort of like invest in a long-term thing. So I'm discovering that, yeah, campaigns are just not. I thought maybe this would be a fun way to, maybe I'll get more into it with this. And there are certain campaigns in this one where you don't have to play as many games, and that certainly is an option that sort of helps and stuff. But yeah, I just don't see myself using them very much. And then looking through them and stuff, there just doesn't seem to be enough interesting things going on in the campaigns that make me go, oh, wow, this will really change up how I play and make it really exciting. Now, having said that, there are some folks in the homebrew community, and I don't want this to be like a slight on the official designers, Andrea and the team. Like, great props to them for making these campaign cards and that sort of thing as well. And like I mentioned, there are some that are shorter, but I do want to note that there are some folks designing sort of fan-made ones inspired by this idea of the campaign decks. For example, Rick Nichols has done some really great looking ones that have he's sort of broken the campaign up into like small chunks, so you can sort of just play a small amount of games. So that seems like something that might be more up my alley. Diversion Architect, I know, has put some really great work into he now calls it the Fall of Apocalypse campaign. He's got some really interesting things going on. So it looks like there's a bit more interesting things that happen in the campaign in his stuff there. If you want to check out a previous version of his stuff, he also has the animated series as well. And then there's all the campaigns like Dom Furland, whose campaign is coming out very soon, the new season 3 one, his big giant map campaign. And I think he's going to be on Derek and Steve's chat in the next day or 2. I can't remember if it's going to be on Co-op Guild or on Kanji Studios, but they're hosting Dom. He's going to talk about his campaign. So if you're excited about the new big map campaign and that's how you like to play it, I know a lot of people love playing Marvel United that way. definitely check that out. But it's just not the campaign thing. Is just I don't like locking myself into like having to sort of play this and that. I think the map campaign gives you a lot more options. I guess you can go, oh, I can play this guy, that guy. But even that is a bit like I just like to be able to play whoever I want to play on any given day, and that's how I like to do it, sort of thing. So, yeah. So campaigns, I appreciate that the Simon team did them and made them and stuff, and there's some really cool storylines there. But I just don't see myself really using them that much. So what I'd better do now, so bear with me, I hope I don't disappear from the screen here. I'm going to go in and turn off the Tableplay, let's see, Tableplay responses. So I'm not accepting responses. I'm going to just double check. So it looks like there's 4 new responses. So what I'm going to do is, hopefully you guys can still see me. I'll go back to my screen just for a second. All right, now, whilst I was away there, could you guys still see me? So hopefully you're not seeing a blank screen or anything. Someone maybe let me know in the comments if you could still see me as I'm talking to you. We'll see how we go here. And then what I'll do is I'll just add those last 4 people, because I think it just puts them at the bottom. I'll add those 4 people to the spin the wheel thing. Yep, can see me. All right, sweet. So I'll go in here. Yes, this seems correct, because I think I think most of you guys are in the chat. So let's have a look. So I'll take these names. Let's see. All right. You guys are getting to see in real time how slow I am at computing. All right, so computering. All right, copy, and then let's see. I've got to go into this new window. All right, and then I have to add. Let's see. Add these 4. See. All right, so there should be 48 entrants. Yes, that's correct. All right, so let's go back now to this one. Okay. And all right, so this is the moment you guys have been waiting for. Thank you for putting up with my rambling about season 3. Hopefully it was interesting for you. And thank you to JD and Dylan and Cross Guilds and Dan, and apologies if I'm missing anyone here, Mr. Creed, James, for chatting. Oh, hello Senate, and hello Tommy Norman, and hello. So Senate says, I'll say my piece and be done. Simon really dropped the ball with this one. I hope they learn and make sure this doesn't happen with DC United, or else there won't be another one. I'm guessing you're not talking about the campaigns, the campaign decks. I'm guessing you're talking about maybe the shipping situation at the moment. So if so, I'm sorry that you might be one of the folks that's affected by that hasn't received your stuff. So yeah, I know it's unfortunate. Yeah, for those folks, it's one of those things. It's like, oh man, I'm in the fanatics thing, and I see the people sort of commenting and stuff, and part of me is like, oh man, it's like it's just shipping, and it's this is it just happens and stuff. But I know that I'm coming at it from the perspective of a very lucky person that's had their season for quite a while now, right? So, and it's been months, right, where people have had it, and if you still don't have your copy, especially if you're in the States, where like it's sort of like some people do and some people don't, sort of thing. That could be really frustrating. So yeah, it's a tough one. I'm hoping I and many others get their copies soon. Yeah, it's frustrating to walk into stores and see it on shelves. Yeah, and you sort of got to have to try and tell yourself, well, it's the in most cases, because some stores have ordered the Kickstarter copies, right? But then some stores who have ordered Kickstarter stuff, maybe their stuff hasn't even arrived yet, and everyone else is getting to sell their product, and you're missing out too. But yeah, you sort of have to tell yourself, oh, I'm getting the Kickstarter exclusive like Doc Samson in this one, and I'm getting whoever is it Iron Spider and maybe Hulkling, the special ones in Civil War and stuff. But yeah, it's rough. Radame. Oh, I'm probably pronouncing that very wrong. Karuo, Kuruo. Sorry. Shipping will get worse if the union workers strike. Yeah, that's I think that's happening, isn't it? We'll see on October 2. Oh, so it's not definite. Okay, well, fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. I didn't order any of Season 3 for Kickstarter. I got the Carnage box from retail, so no modular. Oh, yeah, that's a big one. And actually, that reminds me, I didn't talk at all about probably one of the most popular, most sought after boxes of Season 3, which is Maximum Carnage. It was cool. I just and I really like the modular dashboard sort of thing and that sort of thing, but I don't and this is sorry to Andrew Fantasia, but I'm not like a massive Spider-Man fan enough that anything outside like the animated series, like a lot of those characters just I don't really know enough about them for me to like. I was really excited with the regular Sinister Six. This group with like Scream and Shriek and all these guys, I just don't know them enough, sort of thing. But yeah, but it's still great models, great to have that thing. But if you're not getting the modular box, that's modular locations, not locations, modular villains. That's a bit rough. All right, so sounds like Rodimus Prime. Sorry, yeah, I butchered that name. My apologies. My apologies. Modular is the best. Played it 7 times now. Wow. Okay, there you go. So yeah, I guess. See, I think I only played Sinister Six once now. That time I played it on the channel, so it just hasn't been this thing that's been my staple way to play it, sort of thing. And I'd played it beforehand. I'd played with Dave's what's his Rogues Gallery, which so for me that's more exciting, is playing like that mode with characters like from the X-Men and stuff like that. So I think I was already a bit kind of like, been there, done that when when the Maximum Carnage came out, sort of thing. But and especially because that's already modular, right? The Rogues Gallery was already modular, so I think what a lot of people are really excited about with Maximum Carnage might be the fact that you can like really change up who's on that roster, and we'd already kind of been playing with that with the Rogues Gallery. So yeah, it's an interesting one, but it's a very funny one. Like it's like it should be one of the most exciting boxes, right? And for me, I'm just like, it's all right. The fact they said 3 containers. Oh, thanks. Redemes. I don't know. Sorry. The fact they said 3 containers were on the water and now they're late. Oh yes, yep. Yeah, it's a bummer. Well, let's try and make someone's day though with that bad news about the shipping and stuff. Let's try and make someone's good news or good happy day with some mod boxes here. So let's have a look. So, and if you're interested, if you're wondering what I'm talking about with these mod boxes, although you're probably here for these, if you're interested in what they are, if you check out Tableplay, tableplay.com. I'll put a link later in this video once I'm done. You can check out their different storage solutions. They also do like display stands and all sorts of stuff, and they have stuff for Marvel Champions, and I think what's that game, Arkham Horror, the card game and stuff like that. They have a bunch of stuff for different games and stuff as well. So, but let's have a look now. So what I'm going to try and do is make sure that you guys can see me. So I'm going to share. So I've got to share screen. And we'll do the spin the wheel thing. So let's see, share screen. All right, so we're going to share which one? Let's have a look here. Going to share this window here. All right. Let me try something here for a second. What if I go, let me just cancel this. You guys let me know if this works. All right, I'm going to do this. And then I'm going to go present. Let me know if you can still see me, and then if the prize wheel thing comes up. So hopefully you're still seeing me, and then I'll go share screen, and I will go window, select this one here, and go share. All right, and then if I go back to here, yes, so can you guys see me, and you can see a wheel there? Well, the wheel's pretty small. I wonder if I can make that larger. What if I do this? That's better. You want to see the wheel rather than me, right? So, yep, okay, so you can see me, and and JD says, "Hug, I feel your pain." Oh, sorry, pass it every day in the miniature market. Yeah, rough. Man, yeah, that would suck. All right, so well, let's try and make it not so bad. I'm going to go down. I'm going to actually go. Uh, so let's see. If I go into this window, so I know you guys can still see me. This must be painful. It's like watching a, a boomer using their. Oh, I shouldn't say that. Sorry, this probably last week. It's like watching and well, I like I'm old beyond my my time. It's like watching someone not very good at computers using a computer. um, it's not like that. It's actually watching someone who's not very good at computers using a computer. All right, let's try. If I click on this, you should still be able to see me, and now I can actually read the wheel. And well, let's click it. So less waffling from me. Good luck, everyone. I hope this brightens your day. And we've got two to give away. So if the first one doesn't come up with your name, uh, hopefully you'll get yours on the second one. So let's try it. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Right, here we go. I think this might be the biggest comp I've ever run. It's 48 people. That's crazy. So we have looks like Gordon. So Gordon, eight 840. Congratulations. Well done. So I'll remove Gordon from the thingy. Let me just write this down so I know to look this up. Uh, so look up their email on the thingy. All right. Now, all right. I'm always terrified I'm going to accidentally show the screen where everyone's emails are on the thing, but I don't think I've done that today, which is good. All right, Gordon. Um, So congratulations, Gordon. Well done, buddy. Uh, and all right, so we've removed Gordon. Now there's 47 entries, so you got even more of a chance now. Here we go. All right, so this is for the second copy of the ModBox. You'll be able to store all your big uh, cardboard locations there. So good luck to everyone. All right. What's happening here? Let's go. Who we got? We have, it looks like CD. So congratulations, CD 22. All right. Well, congratulations to those folks. Let's remove that from there. I will go back into this screen and we can go back to let's stop sharing. And there we go. All right. Well, congratulations to Gordon and Ceedy. Well done. Thank you so much for all the folks who have come to join us here today. Witching Hour. You hope Witching Hour isn't a mess. Yeah, man. I'm really looking for I really want to order that. I hope they don't underestimate how many people want to order that. Anyone got any plans for Halloween month? Any board games you're thinking of playing? There's that. What's that game? Horrified and Terrified and stuff. There's that range of games. I bet a lot of folks will play that. The Arkham Horror stuff. I definitely want to maybe play some stuff with either Hobgoblin or some of those frightful sort of guys in Marvel United. That'd be pretty fun. So maybe I'll try and do that during the October months as well. What about you guys? Anyone thinking of playing any things there? Thanks to all the folks who are being very gracious and saying congrats to the winners there as well. Final Girl, yeah, that's another great one. Black Mold, no, I don't want Black Mold because I don't want mold anywhere near my games. And yeah, Witching Hour. Hopefully, Witching Hour will be available in a lot of different ways. I don't know what CMON tend to do for these limited release things. Do they only do it through their website, or can you get them through Amazon? I don't know. Halloween might force my friends to play Nemesis. Yep. Anyway, we'll be overnight gaming in November. Werewolf by Night. Yep. Yeah. I want to have a team with Werewolf by Night and Elsa Bloodstone and all those guys. Yeah, that'd be fun. And Ryan saying howdy. Hello, Ryan. And Katami. Hello to Katami as well. Hello to Thomas. Just trying to say hello to anyone I've sort of haven't said hello to through the stream as well. But yeah, so well, thanks very much, guys. I hope to sort of continue sort of bringing out some really cool sort of content for you and that sort of stuff. I was sort of joking before when I was saying, oh no, Andrew Fantasia's started to make gameplay videos. I'm finished, sort of thing. But yeah, definitely check out Andrew Fantasia's stuff on Digital Charcuterie. I know. Derek from Kanji Studios, he puts out a lot of great great Marvel United content, and I think he's received his season 3 stuff, so you should see more of that sort of stuff coming out. And I know that he and Co-op Guild, Steve and Kim, I think from the Co-op Guild, they put out a lot of good stuff as well. So check their stuff out. I think if you look at the Simon Fanatics as well. Derek has in the past done a lot of homebrew villains, fan-made villains that he designs, and I think he's starting to get back into that as well. So keep an eye out for that as well. Diversion Architect, he's got his Sentinel stuff that he's been making. He's got his Fall of Apocalypse campaign that he's released. So if you like your campaign stuff, definitely check that out, and check out Rick Nichols' campaigns as well. He's also got that great breakout mode, which was a lot of fun as well. If you like your different IPs, and that's maybe a topic for another day. I might talk about the IPs a little bit on another live stream. But if you like your different IPs, you definitely check out Helios 23 and now my mind's blanking. X Nelly Nell X from the Discord, they put up a lot of their stuff on the Marvel United wiki, and there's a lot of really great designs there from a whole range of different IPs. I just played a bunch of X Nelly Nell X's stuff, and man, he does not miss. Like every design is so good, and like, okay, here's okay. Do we want it? I don't know. I don't know how not negative, but backer kit. Oh, they use backer kit maybe. Okay, that's interesting. But I have seen this is just. I have seen folks on Board Game Geek. It tends to be. This is just my impression. And if maybe you might not be as interested in the fan made stuff. I definitely love sort of championing it and showing it off and that sort of stuff. And I can understand, it might just not be your bag and you don't want to sort of have to print out new stuff and that sort of thing. But I see a lot of dismissive sort of comments and attitudes on Board Game Geek from certain certain commenters and stuff, and stuff like, very skeptical of any fan made stuff being balanced or fun and that sort of stuff. And I would just like to say, if that's how you feel, please. I mean, if you do what you want, you don't have to look at it. But man, there's a lot of great stuff there. The Marvel United wiki with the homebrew section there is an amazing amount of great stuff there that I happen to know is very well tested. And obviously, whether it's balanced and whether it's fun is a subjective thing. So I'll leave that up to people. But I know there's a lot of stuff that's very well tested. People put a lot of work into it, back and forth, get a lot of feedback from each other, and that sort of thing. So I just want to say, if you encounter those sort of comments that say, "Oh, don't look at homebrew because it's all rubbish and it's not balanced and people don't put the time in to work on it properly," I would just like to say, don't take that on face value, or don't take that as the final word. That's probably a bit rude to say, don't take it on face value, but don't take it as the final word. Check it out if you're at all interested in it. Definitely, have a look at it. And there's a lot of options for playing it on Tabletop Simulator and that sort of stuff as well. And there's a lot of great stuff to be had. I've had so many fun experiences with a lot of these fan-made things as well. I love the design space that Andrea and the guys have designed and come up with, and I'm very thankful for them for that. And I'm season 3 and looking at the stuff in DC, I'm blown away again by how creative they are and all their cool ideas, like was it Dead Man and Bizarro and all these awesome designs. But there's also a lot of great stuff out there in the community, and to say that it's not balanced and not fun as a blanket statement, I think is doing a disservice to a lot of great community work. So that's just my 2 cents. So anyway, yeah, sorry. And yeah, that James, that comment about Star Wars. I'll revisit that about IPs and stuff. But yeah, that's that's definitely it's definitely a popular one, isn't it? And I'll be surprised. Clock Clock King didn't get in. Oh, well, there you go. Maybe that's a season 2 thing. Another Marvel United question: if there was a franchise you'd want in the United line, what would it be? Well, let's. Okay, I'll answer that, but that could be a whole. That's probably what the whole next sort of topic will be, sort of thing. But oh man, I don't know what one I would want. There's so many that I would want. I'm sort of working on, and other friends of mine and stuff are working on stuff that, like, the ones I really want are already kind of being worked on. So I think if I think back to answer that, if I think back to what I originally, when I was playing Marvel United and I first got the thought, hey, wouldn't it be cool if this was in Marvel United? The first one that came to mind for me was GI Joe. So I'm currently working on some GI Joe stuff at the moment. I don't have a lot of characters done for it, but that was the first one. So I think, to answer that question, I'll say that. But really, over time, there's so many others that have popped into my head that I'm like, oh, wouldn't this be cool, and wouldn't this be cool? That I don't know that GI Joe is necessarily the top one, but it's so hard to pick. I'll just say that GI Joe, just because it was the first one that popped into my mind. But I'm seeing a lot of great suggestions in there, and a lot of those are on my list as well. What I will say is, the one thing I do not want to see, um, just because I never was a fan of it, sort of thing. And when the movies were coming out, they were sort of coming out almost like in competition with Lord of the Rings. So Harry Potter, I never sort of read the stuff as a kid, sort of thing, and it just kind of, I missed the boat on Harry Potter, and so I've always been a bit like, man, I don't really like Harry Potter. So that's the one IP that I see a lot of people asking for, that I have no interest in, and would be really annoyed if we had to put up with a whole season uh, of that, and waiting for new stuff to come that I'd be excited with, and having to put up with Harry Potter. But hey, that's just me. I'm sure there's probably lots of people that would really like it. But yeah, like I said, maybe that can be another topic for another day. But yeah, well, thank you very much, guys. I hope this has been fun. And thank you for everyone being so kind and generous, even if you were not a winner. And who knows, down the track I might be able to have some other competitions and things like that. Just a note to the winners too: if you do see this video, please don't respond to any comments in, like, the comments of this video or other videos asking for payment or money or anything like that. That will not be me. So I'll contact you guys and sort of privately, and just sort of get your shipping details and stuff, but I'll take care of all the shipping and all that sort of stuff. So as long as you live in a place that I can ship to. So yeah, please don't respond to any comments saying, oh, please send money here or whatever. So yeah, anyway, well, thank you very much, guys. It's been been a blast. Thanks for listening to me rambling on about my first impressions. Hopefully they were interesting, and thanks for those of you sharing your impressions and stuff as well. And thanks for putting up with me fighting my way through using a computer as well. And we'll catch you on the next one. Speaking of catching on the next one, I'll probably do a Fin Fang Foom soon, and then I hope to be back with a. Speaking of using technology, I hope to be back at the beginning of the weekend, next coming weekend, or maybe Friday night for the folks in the US, with a live stream gameplay video, if I can work it out, over Tabletop Simulator. So I'm going to try my best to sort of work out how to do that well, so that it's an enjoyable video to watch, and I hope to have some special guests on there as well. So keep your eyes peeled on that one. So yeah, well, thank you very much, guys. It's been a pleasure, and I'll see you all on the next one. Meeple Monkey out. See ya.